Hi there, and welcome to Walk with Bandana Man. Well, this little leg stretcher is the perfect start to your walking holiday in Mallorca. It starts at the mountain village of Caimari, which lies at the foot of Tramuntana, and ends up at Lluc Monastery, which lies in the heart of the mountains. It's about 2.5 hours up and a couple of hours down if you want to do the round trip. I really do think that you'll enjoy this. It's a short walk but has an immense amount to offer. So, let's get out there.
Caimari is a small mountain village of about 800 people, and it lies at the foot of the Tramuntana at an elevation of about 180 metres above sea level. It is specifically known for its olive groves, its production of fine olive oil, and of course as the start of the cyclist hill climb to the Col de Batea.
After being dropped off by the bus at the bottom end of Caimari, you'll walk for 5 minutes through Caimari and then for another 4 or 5 minutes up this road, and we've got this track with us now for probably about an hour and a half. So we're now arriving at the bottom of the first man-made feature of the track. That's a set of steps that go up this little rise here to the next level. Not very high, but if you'd prefer to walk round, there's a track there that you can go around. It takes you about another minute or so and you end up at the same place at the top. So, we're now approaching a road. In fact, it's one of the very few places that the path to Lluc actually crosses a road. On weekends this place can be quite busy, so you need to keep an eye out for cyclists and for cars and buses. Okay, we've now hit a steep little section here. Sort of a cobbled floor really, quite wide, but this will go on for another good 10-15 minutes, probably one of the hardest sections of the walk, but really if you're a reasonable amount of fitness you may not even notice it. So, January the 24th, it's now about midday and it's easy in the 20s of degrees, so I think this G-Day's got to come off. Woo! So, we've reached the top of that little steep section now. It levels off a little bit for a while. We've got to make our way up to that finca you can see on the right hand side there. The mountains in the background are great mountains to walk to actually and walk up. You've got that one there which is called Caragora, and the one along the ridge, just a little triangle there, is called Escral. And then if we make it across there to the big one there, that's called Da'ali. That's over 1,000 meters. So we've met the road again, but this time we don't cross the road, just go down to the left of it, and in 5 minutes time we should come across a recreation area called Sa Coveta Negra. So, about an hour and a bit above Caimari is this place here, which is a barbecue and recreation area.
Sacobeta Negra is one of the many recreational sites in the northeast of Mallorca. This one lays about an hour above Caimari and is where many local families, mostly from the surrounding towns, come on weekends or festival days to enjoy a general get-together with picnics and barbecues. Public barbecues are only permitted in Mallorca between the months of October and May. This has a car park which can hold about 20 vehicles. It has around 10 picnic tables and 20 or so barbecue pits.
Walking like I am through any holm oak forest in the Tramuntana, it's inevitable that you'll come across one of these. In fact, you'll come across probably lots of these. Let's have a look.
The round burning mounds or sitchas were used for turning wood into charcoal. Charcoal would have been used in many situations: domestic heating, cooking, industrial kilns, smoking fish and meat, and so on. Carbonating wood became a speciality here in the mid-17th century, and it was an industry until probably the early 1900s. A sitcha, or platform, was built, wood was collected, the mounds were assembled and tightly covered with earth, the fires were lit, and within 8 to 10 days the wood had carbonized. It became charcoal. A few minutes above the sitcha, you will come across this crag, and on the crag is a plaque in the memory of a young girl called Isabel Morel Moro, who apparently became lovesick, or it is rumoured, and on the 26th of May 1990, in sheer desperation, threw herself off the top. She was aged 18. Bless her.
Yeah, we're at one of my favourite parts of the walk now. This is about as far away from civilization you can get on this walk in particular. Yeah, this is where I used to come twice a week with my dog Maggie. I used to bring her walking up here, park at the recreation site car park there, and bring her up here to walk. And she used to go into an old cistern up here, an old stone cistern full of water, swim about. We spend ages there. Great. Yeah, fond memories. So we're now approaching the second of the hairpins on the way up to the col, and it starts to get a bit steep now, and you know, this is where probably is your steepest part of the walk that you're going to do for good 15 minutes. Down there is a track which leads to the start of the climbs through the forest to Dali, Esgrau and Caragola, but we want to go up that way, up this next series of hairpins until we get to the col. Okay, we've reached concrete underfoot now for a few of the hairpins. I think it's where erosion has taken place, and the only way to get the forestry vehicles up here is to put a concrete base down. They're quite steep, and as I said, about 10 minutes you'll be at the col, and then all this tough climbing is over and done. Eventually, at the top of those hairpins, you'll arrive at a little col. I think this is an ideal place to take on some water, probably have a sandwich. Ooh. Here you'll see that the track divides, but you want the one that goes up, nice and straight up there. Beautiful vista out there with the mountains of Arta in the background, right in the background, and then a few villages and towns. I think Sapobl's there, Campanette's there, Muro is right in the distance, which probably can't pick it up, but what a beautiful, beautiful vista. I don't know if you can pick it out, but right in the distance is the holy mountain of Randa. It has a monastery on the top, and there are a couple of walks from Randa itself up to the monastery that are worth doing. We're now approaching the viewpoint. It's marked on the map, and it does command a beautiful view across the flatlands. How's that? All the way around. Beautiful. After about 5 minutes from the first viewpoint, you come across a second viewpoint. This is not marked on the map, but nevertheless, it shows a beautiful vista. So we're on our way virtually almost downhill now for a good 20 minutes, and it'll lead us to the Col Batea. Yeah, you'll come across this building in the last quarter of your walk, and it's strange. It's been like this for 10 years, and it looks to like it should have been a hotel, and it's just been abandoned. Now there could be a couple of reasons why that is so. One is that they've run out of money because they've done this piece here nicely, or second is that they never really had permission to build it, so they had to stop. So here we are, we've reached the Col de Batea at 576 metres. That means we've done about 400 metres of ascent the time that we started, and it's mostly downhill to Lluc Monastery from here. Little bits of up and down, but not much. So at the Col Batea here is a cafe, fuel station, and this is where most of the parking is done when you're going to climb the Massanea. So about 100 metres after leaving the Col, we get to this road junction. That road up there is the country road. This is the road down to Lluc and along to Port Plensa. We now need to cross the road over to the barrier, and then once we're past the barrier, we turn right. Down there.
At the end of the lane, you should see a narrow path next to the main road and a short set of steps that lead to this dirt track.
You can see just through there's a Sonoma car park, but our plan is to go left here and go up the hill, up the steps to the refuge itself. This is a beautiful approach to the refuge Sonoma from the car park. It's a lovely old building.
Sonnemer Refuge is located on a hilltop above the Lluc Monastery, and at an altitude of 535 metres it overlooks the entire Lluc Valley. It is ideally situated for those who want to do a series of day walks in the area, or as the ultimate refuge of the GR221. It's about 4.5 hours from Palencia. It has 52 beds, split into 6 dormitories and a full array of services. The refuge is owned by the Conseil de Mallorca.
So from the Sonnemer's little garden we can spy our first glimpse of Lluc Monastery. About another 20 minutes and we should be there. And this is the final track leading down to the road which goes from Palencia to Lluc. 5 minutes. And there we have the Puig de Gallio. It's a 1,000+ meter mountain and it overlooks Lluc Monastery. In most of the books and that you'll read, it'll say that the Massanea overlooks Lluc Monastery, but in fact it's not the Massanea. That is definitely Puig Gallio. I know because I climbed it. Okay, we've finally reached the main road. If we want to turn left, we can go down the main road to Lluc Monastery, or if we want to turn right, we can go down the service road. It's just right and then almost immediately left. My preference is always to go down the service road because it's not as busy, although the road today here isn't busy, but it is slightly more attractive. So yeah, so we got the last 5 minutes of walking into Lluc via the service road, which I'm on now, and it's been very pleasant. I mean, for December, it's been really, really nice.
Lluc Monastery lies in a valley basin at an elevation of 525 metres. It was founded on the site where a 13th century Moorish shepherd found a statue of the Virgin Mary. It is famous not only for being the most important pilgrimage site on Mallorca, but also for its famous boys' choir, Esplauts, named after their blue cassocks. The monastery has some pretty impressive grounds, including this lovely courtyard, and it also boasts 4 cafes, a boarding school, a botanical garden trail, and a public outdoor swimming pool. It is also possible to pay for an overnight stay in one of the many monks' cells, if you are, say, hiking the GR221. I think if you do this walk from Caimari, you need to allow yourself 2.5 hours up and about 2 hours back down to Caimari for a round trip. As you are there, it's obviously worth looking around the monastery. If you wish to use public transport from Inca to Caimari, then it's the 312 bus. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the future.